Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to review round 13 of the 2026 NRL Fantasy season. Excuse me. So this week was a bit of a struggle. We got to 697, which should see us drop a couple of thousand spots overall. And in the end we only actually got 11 players on field. So a combination of the buys, injuries, and then some late outs, not really helping us. And then copping some injuries through the weekend, such as Brayley, who scored 48, but has got himself a busted arm. So we may need to move him on for a few weeks. In the middle, we got Aaron Clark, Jackson Ford, both did pretty well, 58, 49 respectively. But they're on the bye this week. Alex Twal as our captain was great, but he also has done a knee. So he's probably another one that we're forced to trade this week. Lasardi with 48 was solid. Ryan Couchman with 62 was great. Demario Martin in the halves, 63, so we brought him in, a nice little profit there. Cleary was withdrawn, carrying a bit of a hip injury, so we'll see if he backs up this week. Hopefully he's ready to go. Kale Iro was another late out with a lacerated knee, was the report, so hopefully it's something that he can get going with this week. Tommy Chester, 27, was a little bit unders for him, but given the amount of great work he's done for us this year, it can't be too critical. But it was the back line, the 1-2 punch of Fa'alongo and Kira is saving the day for our team with an 84 and an 85 respectively. Joash Papali, 29, also contributing to the team. So I don't think we had leagues going this week either, so I can't see a lot of those scores. But we'll have a look at the Open League. And it looks like top of the pops, the notorious PIG with an 829, getting himself up into the number 1 rank as well in the league, and top 400 overall, so well done, David. But he also went without a hooker seemingly. I know he had Harry Grant on the bench, so it went the loop sort of action with Grant and Cook, and 60 points each meant it worked out all right. But had Terrell May as captain, so what did he score? That's 86 points. That's massive. The Couchman twins in the second row, that looks nice. Both scored 62 as well, which is pretty interesting. Had Dylan Brown in the halves. Had Fa'alongo. So and even like Teddy Walsh scoring 40s. Decent contributions all round. Excuse me again. So, I guess, without the leagues, we'll just sort of cut straight to the plan for this week. We're in a bit of trouble, I think. Let's see what we can do here. So, we can sub in Yowie, because we traded out, what's his name? Hamish Stewart last week. We're actually down the middle this week. I haven't thought that bit through. And then with 12, we're going to have to force another move. We at least got Pascoe for hooker, so we can put him in. We've got Lasardi and Ryan Couchman. However, probably got to move on from these guys in the next week or two, given they don't play round 15 and we have no edge cover. The halves, at least we can get Campbell back on there. I think Hines is still out with injury. Excuse me. Cleary. And then in the back line, I guess we do have access to Farnworth and Bostock now. So without making any sort of trades, we've got 4 on the bench because you imagine Seagold would get a bit of game time with Latrell Mitchell still out. Not the strongest bench, but that's okay. Um, yeah, so we've got to think about this in terms of what the plan is moving forward too. So next week, we need Pasco, we need Twal. Well, Twal's injured, so I think the first trade is pretty straightforward. Twal out, Terrell May in, like for like, same buy coverage, all that good stuff. Um, so we're holding Clark, we're holding Martin. So Brayley or Hines are the trade out options this week. And we've got halves cover for next week with the two. We've got Tamara Martin will be back too, so we've got plenty of halves options. So I think it's got to be Nico that gets traded out. And so we're probably looking for another middle that's going to play next week as well. So probably rules out Toby Couchman, as great as he would have to be in the team. Um, what are we looking at? Oh, I should just go by middles because that's what we're looking for, eh? More filters, middle. So Payne Haas, you imagine he'll be back in the Origin frame. Carrigan's injured but would be playing Origin anyway. Stefano's on the bye. Hamish Stewart's on the bye. That's why we've traded him out. So it looks like the next option is Joe Tarpany. So, 3 round average of 63 is pretty nice. I'll just double check their coverage. I think it's pretty good from memory, but so he covers 15, 16, doesn't play 18, but covers 19. So 3 of the next 4 big rounds. It's probably Tarpany, I reckon. Because after that, you got like Leo Thompson's not like he's scoring okay actually, averaging 57 3 round. But the Bulldogs don't play round 15 or 18. Um, yeah, I think it's Tarpany. Pretty straightforward decision there. And so let's make that trade. All right. Then I guess in terms of other potential moves, um, since we've got a heap of trades this week and got a bit of cash, I think Lasardi's probably done his job for us. While we could hang on to him, we don't necessarily need to. So that's going to allow us to bring KPP into the fold. Lock that one in. And then, like Ryan's still got a bit of cash to make, so we'll try and hold a week if we can. So yeah, that might be about it. I think for trades, 3 trades. Because I think going into next week we've got Bostock, Siegvolt, Chester, Papali. So we've got wing fullback covered. So we don't need to trade out these boys just yet. We've got the halves covered with the Titans connection and Martin. So it's just we do need another edge for next week. And then we get the 2 Warriors boys back. We've got Tarpany, so we've probably got a bit of an excess in the middle next week. But that's fine. So throw Tarpany on field here. And then just flip all the reserves around. Probably doesn't matter so much. Just looks nice. Yeah, so those are probably the trades to make sure you get 17 on the puck. Obviously, if these injuries are extended, we might need to look at another move, which is not ideal. Actually, we don't want to have to play with 16, but if we do, maybe we do. So then just initial thoughts on captain and vice captain. I think Terrell May against the Panthers is interesting. Tarpany against the Roosters, yeah. Guess Cleary against the Tigers. He could go well. It's a Sunday Arvo game, so Probably just pretty boring captain Cleary, but Joel Mace in the mix too. But yeah, I think we'll have another look at it on Thursday before the first game. So wrap the video up here. As always, if you've got any questions, comments, and thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the NRL Fantasy content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.